Yo, yo, yo. Triple Eight in the building, you know what I'm saying? Back with another video. Um, I wanted to talk a little bit about mental health. And I got the idea from a friend of mine that was doing a survey for her project. Shout out to her. Um, Miss Jenkins is what I call her. I don't want to put too much of her info out there just out of respect. But this video is definitely, I say this video is for her. You know what I mean? She could probably use this video. I won't use no cursing or nothing. I'll try my best to do so. But, mental health is a very, very, very unspoken topic in the African American community, of course. Speaking for my black folk, what I'm saying? And, I'll speak about that and I'll speak about it in a general space all around us. But for my black people, you know what I'm saying, we don't necessarily speak on mental health. We kind of just started to speak on mental health. We kind of it's kind of now becoming like of conversations amongst peers and amongst parents and whatnot, because now we're looking at suicidal rates and we're looking at a lot of these, you know, killings of young black men and the way that it's affecting communities and families and friends and whoever else is amongst these people who die and who are in these asylums or facilities or whatever. But let me get straight to the point. I personally had my experiences with depression, anxiety, social anxiety, paranoia, dissociation, depersonalization, derealization. I've experienced these uh, symptoms and things that has happened with me. I've experienced them, what I'm saying, majority of my life since I was about 12. And I never spoke on it because I didn't know if my parents would understand. I didn't know that anybody would understand until I actually was around people who knew or understood what it meant. And, a lot of people don't have a go-to person, or they don't have the opportunity to have a therapist. And, it affects kids. And kids grow up dysfunctionally and don't even know it. They think that's the right way to go. Kids that are babies, even adolescent, you know what I mean, growing up in my age, 20 years old or 30 years old or 5, 10, 15 years old, and they have these parents who argue all the time and that go back and forth, and you got one person acting defensive and dismissive, and another person is acting this way, and then it's kind of like, what I'm saying, you're sitting in between it, and it's like, even though you say, it's normal, but when you go out there, you try to date or you try to talk to somebody, you know, not saying, what you say is also how you say it to attract the person or to, to detach. How you doing? Or like to make a person not want to talk to you, or be friends with you, don't even want to really be around you. And it's like, it's difficult now is that these kids are growing up thinking disrespecting people or being a certain way to look cool or something is like, it mess with their mental health. And sometimes we don't really have peers or father figures or male figures, let me say, that are in our communities, because some of them is just in the streets on the corner, and these little kids look up to them because they don't have a father. Some kids have parents in the house, but they're toxic. They're constantly arguing all the time, or the woman may be getting abused and he can't do nothing about it, or maybe the mom is doing something to the dad and is making the household fall and crumble. You know what I mean? it's not always the dad, it's not, you know what I'm saying, and it's not always the mom, but both play a role to a child's life. You know what I'm saying? Both play a role to a child's life. And kids grow up in this age with depression. Why? Social media is another one. Social media can make a kid feel less of himself. And that's because they're seeing other people's lives and they think that they're perfect, knowing that that person behind that screen is the same way as you. They just making it seem perfect because they want to look a certain way on social media. And some kids, they go on social media, even some adults like me, or late teen kids, adolescent, of course, they look at celebrities, or they see like people who are like known, like a public figure or something, and they, oh man, I want to be like that, and they lose themselves because they trying to be somebody else, and they never can be themselves. And I think that's another, another thing that's with mental illness is that people try to be something they're not, and that messes with their head, and it makes them depressed, it makes them, lonely, have self doubt, and then like they get jealous of other people who do great things because they can't do great things because they doubted themselves, and they don't want other people to, what I'm saying, they don't want people that's in a higher rank or feel like they're better than somebody. And that can definitely take a toll on kids. And in the African American community, that's something that happens a lot. People are like, oh no, you think you better than me, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? But that topic needs to be way like more broad. People should start talking about it like, yo, what do you think about mental health? Instead of, yo, what do you think about Beyonce's new heels? Or what do you think about Kanye's new shoes? Or what do you think about Derrick Rose's new sneaker that's coming out? Not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm saying like talk about stuff that's within your people and your community. Like, damn, why do kids act this way? What's making kids want to kill each other? What's making kids want to go crazy and always result to fighting somebody because they said something a certain way? Why? What for? Because of the way that they were raised from a person who was raised in that type of time where they had to fight, where they had to show that they were strong, where they could not show emotion, they could not show any type of bitch trait where they say they can't vent or express how they feel, they can't cry, you gotta man up, you know what I mean? Like, that is a lot of dads out here. Man up, toughen up. Like if you fall down, you as a little kid, you fall down, you cry. That's a toxic thing that you put on your child. Man up. Or even if you tell your child, if they're crying, if you make them cry because of how like your energy is projected onto a child, even if they made a mistake, or even if they being bad, or you know what I mean. Not saying you may have to, rough a kid up a little bit. Not saying rough a kid up, but like, you know what I mean. Knock some sense into him, or give him a little discipline, him or her. But when you be like, oh, if you crying, I'm gonna give you something to cry about. That's toxic. You know what I'm saying? That's real toxic because you came from a household like that, and now you're projecting it on a kid that's not raised like that. That's not like that. It's a totally different space than where you was at, than that child. And I think that's another thing with parents too. And then they get older, and they have no emotion, they have no expression, they have lack of expression, and they don't know how to express themselves, and then they become just like, what I'm saying, monotone as people. And then when they finally get the opportunity to express themselves, it's like, damn, like I feel vulnerable, or like they don't, like, damn, like I really was this toxic ass fucking person, and they don't, what I'm saying, they don't really understand why they was like toxic, or they don't understand why they was acting like this. So, like, this is my message to y'all is that, yo, start talking to people that has depression, that goes through shit. You know what I mean? Leave them some space. Don't be like towering over them, but definitely give them space to to get themselves together, and also like let them take time to themselves to just reflect a little bit. And then like when it's time for them to talk, then that's when you talk to them, and you let them talk more than you. Don't be the one to interrupt and talk all the time. Be like, listen to what they gotta say, and then you understand. Don't listen to reply. That's another thing, that we don't have people that listen to understand, which makes us not talk about our mental health. People listen to reply nowadays. They don't really listen to understand, and that's why
a lot of people don't express how they feel. They resort to drugs, or they smoke weed or they smoke cigarettes. I'm not saying weed is a bad thing or anything, but when you use it for a certain way to exit the true feelings you hold within, that's when it becomes a bad thing. But like, if you're using drugs or pills and stuff like that, you know what I mean, that stuff can alter your mental health. Because when you know what I'm saying, you taking antidepressants or any type of pills or anything like that to make you go just to get through the day, 9 times out of 10 it may go good for you, and then that 1 out of 10 it may go bad for the people that, you know what I'm saying, is not really trustworthy of prescriptions and everything like that. But to each his own. I'm not bashing nobody. To each his own. But there's always a consequence to everything when you do that and you take that step. And it's either good or bad, you know what I'm saying? So you got to take life with a grain of salt. You can't be just, you know what I'm saying, going wild and out and going fucking crazy. Sorry. But, I just wanted to speak on that because a lot of people don't really speak on that. And, people that are subscribed to my channel and any new subscribers that come here or anybody that comes across this channel, like, yo, share this video and let people just, you know what I'm saying, understand that, yo, it's okay to vent. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel vulnerable. It's okay to cry on somebody's shoulder. You can talk to a human being on the street. You walk past people that suffer from everything and more every single day, and they are quiet because they feel alone and you feel alone. But you can just talk to a person and be like, hey, I don't want to interrupt. I know you don't know me. I don't know you, but I'm proud of you. I hope you have a great day. I guarantee you that'll make their day. I guarantee you that'll make their day. You can tell somebody, hey, have an awesome day, man. You're doing great. You don't even have to know if they're doing great or not. They could be having a bad day. Even if they're doing great, tell them, yo, have a great day. You don't know. Your words mean a lot to a lot of people you don't know, and it means a lot to people that just, going through a tough time. Even people you know. So it's like, you gotta really be positive. You know what I mean? Like, when you look in the mirror, tell yourself an affirmation like, I am great, I'm successful. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get through this. I got this. You know what I'm saying? I got this. God got me. You know what I mean? Count your blessings. You know what I'm saying? Write down 10 things you want to accomplish mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and then you want to put that into fruition. You do not want to just, you know what I'm saying, be like, all right, bet, and then like you get depressed, you're like, oh, F it. But that's also another thing. Like, depression is a silent assassin, and if it's not talked about, you're slowly going to kill yourself. And I think people should really get down on the mental health epidemic in inner city communities and wherever else that is currently where depression resides, and it resides in a lot of people. So you gotta understand, like, you gotta really take a deep reflective moment with yourself sometimes, and just be like, yo, like, okay, am I experiencing stress? Am I experiencing depression? And that'll make you just more, more positive to have a better outcome. And then when you get into a positive mood, you're like, you know what, I'm feeling great, I'm feeling okay, I'm feeling awesome. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like, I am depressed, or I like, don't be the full definition of that, because you do not project that. You know what I mean? It's not written on the forehead. You know what I mean? Just like, look, I'm experiencing depression. I'm going through a sad moment right now. I need some time. When you get some time, then when you feel like you're ready to go out back into the world, cool. But that's just my video for today. I just wanted to talk about that, and share this video amongst all your peers. Share this video amongst people that you know. I love every single one of you guys. You know what I mean? This is it's crazy that I can talk on this. I love that I can talk on this platform and I can actually speak to people and get comments and feedback. I really do appreciate it a lot. And I'm going to talk more about some stuff like this and a lot of other things as well. So I'm doing daily uploads from now on, and I'm going to try to be consistent with it and just go forth from here. So I appreciate every single last one of you guys. Video was pretty long, but what else is new for me? But yeah, that's all I can say. But yeah, man, just practice on, work on mental health, work on your spiritual, work on your physical, you know what I'm saying, your emotions, because emotions are energy in motion. Never forget that, you know what I mean? So look, I'm gonna head out. I appreciate doing this video for y'all. Keep liking, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. You know what I'm saying? Keep posting. So when I post a video, you get that bing. You know what I'm saying? Get that bell, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm out of here. Triple Eight out. 888 the gang.